Education is a truly key to unlock endless possibilities and create brighter future. Our guest for today's episode has made a significant contribution in the educational field. Mr. Arshad Ahmad, the chairman of AJ Group of Schools. Stay tuned.
We have no words to express our gratitude to the rulers of this country and to the authorities. First of all, for having allowed we expatriates to live in such peace and harmony in this country. That's number one. And this country, from the time Allahu Yarhamu Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan had his vision and what his thought for the future of this country, which has been so well taken forward by the current rulers. My message to younger generation these days is they are too much involved into video games and these mobile apps and all kinds of things, which is a huge problem the whole world is facing. During our days, whenever we have free time, we used to go and play games outside, all kinds of games. This generation, whenever they have a free time, they will go into any of mobile phones or on their laptops and just play games, which is causing huge problems for their mental ability and also their physical. They are not into games, which causing them to lead a very sedentary life. Well, in our field, the success is measured through what the students achieve, and the more success the students achieve in various fields. We have always believed that the education is not confined to only classrooms. It's to do with developing a student's all-round personality and making them confident citizens.
Hello everyone and welcome to our show, Pearls of Union, where we bring you the best of the entrepreneurship world and meet incredible pioneers in the world of business from different sectors here in the UAE. It's said that the more people are educated in one country, the higher development in that place. Talking about the educational sector, one of the dynamic sector here in UAE, and it also contributes with the continuous advancement in UAE. Today, I'm thrilled to have with me one of the leaders in educational field and school improvements and also management consultancy, Mr. Arshad Ahmad Sharief. How are you, Mr.?
Alhamdulillah.
We are so
Alhamdulillah.
excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so
and
much.
choosing me for an interview.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. So let's first reflect on your beginnings, starting talking about your educational background and what exactly are you specialized in?
Basically, I'm an engineer, electrical engineer to be precise. I graduated in India in the city of Bangalore in the year 1969, long back. Alhamdulillah. So in the year 1981, I worked in the electricity department in Bangalore for about 11 years before coming to Emarat.
So, Mr. You have studied engineering. I want to ask you at what time exactly you came here first in the UAE and what roles have you held in your career path?
Well, I had an opportunity to come to Abu Dhabi in the year 1981 when I got a job. I applied and I got a job immediately because of my experience back home. And I was appointed in the water department line in Khabisi, where you have that Sheikh Azza bin Zayed Stadium. That was my office for 30 years. It was a complex of water department. I was initially in the instrumentation field, looking after the pumping stations, and later on I was in charge of projects in water projects in Align. So 30 years I worked in the water department,
Yes.
Align, Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So, Mr. I see that you have studied in engineering and you worked in a government field in electricity pumping stations first here in UAE. So, what made this shift in your career path? Now you are a chairman of AG, the management consultancy. So,
Yes.
what inspired you to start such a business in a totally different field?
Yes, I attribute that to our family, mainly to my wife. She has been an educationist, a passionate educationist who was keen to do something for education of children. So while I was still working in the department, she used to force me that we should start a school. She was working as a teacher in Indian school for about 5 years, and she was not happy the way education is provided to children. So while I was still in the job, we started a small hadana called Align Juniors Nursery in the year 1989. That was a starting point of our journey, and she was overseeing that. So then in the year 1991, we shifted to a school. We expanded from nursery, which was catering to students below 4 years, and we continued from kindergarten onwards, every year upgrading every year in a custom building belonging to Sheikh Sultan bin Surur al-Zahiri, Allahu Yaramu. So that was the starting point of our school in the year 1991.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yes.
So, Mr., like you have started a business from scratch in a totally
Yes.
different fields. I know
Yes.
that your wife were with you from the
Yes.
beginning, but at the same time, it must be some challenges regarding starting or setting up your business. You start from building a nursery. It was a small nursery, and after all these years, now we have like a massive organization.
Alhamdulillah.
During this journey, can you mention some challenges or obstacles you have faced?
It's a very eventful journey. As I told you that we are not business oriented people. We came into education more as a passion, and my wife has been a passionate educationist. She wanted to do something differently, to provide education differently to children, and that concept, parents were very impressed, very happy. Children were really enjoying that new concept of education. Right from nursery, and as we moved ahead into school, she was giving opportunity to school children to come on the stage and speak openly. So that has been our plus point right up to now. Our children are very confident students. They come on the stage, they speak so fluently in front of a large audience. That's part of the growth of the children. So this was one of the reason. Talking of the challenges, obviously because those days the regulatory authorities was not formed, like you have ADIC, Abu Dhabi Education Authority in Abu Dhabi, Education and Knowledge. We had Ministry of Education, which was not so well established, so we didn't have proper governance from the government side. But Alhamdulillah, we had maintained our own standards, which we did not compromise on the standards of education. So when we moved up to the school, and we had to move every year, 1 year at a time, we had huge challenges in the classrooms to be added every year. Thanks to Sheikh Mohammed bin Sultan Al Tahiri, he helped us to construct the building. Every year we used to add up rooms. As we moved from kindergarten up to grade 6 in old building in Mautarad.
Yes.
But the biggest challenge we had when it was in the residential area, and the Baladia Alliance gave us a notice, you cannot continue in this building because schools are not allowed to run in residential areas, nor in the villas. That rule came about 15, 18 years back. So we had a challenge to move to our own building, and we didn't have funds to construct. And in this journey, our partner in the school, Mr. Khamis Obaid Al-Zahiri, he has been a huge support to us right from the time we started our school, but he could not help us in constructing the school building. That was the biggest challenge and the most difficult thing we went through in our journey. Alhamdulillah, we always attribute to Allah's blessing and mercy. We were able to sell our property back in India and get the money here, and somehow we started the construction of the present building in Alain Junior School. Alhamdulillah, and we have grown. It was to be an Indian system in the beginning, and because we had a lot of non-Indians, Arabs, who wanted a different curriculum, we added British curriculum to the existing Indian curriculum which was offered. So getting affiliation to Indian curriculum CBSE and then to the British curriculum, which is from Cambridge, it was a huge challenge because they had their own standards and the building was not suitable. Alhamdulillah, we succeeded in shifting to the present building, and I think that this is one of the largest schools in terms of student strength and the number of classrooms. We have about 115 classrooms in the building right now, and we have around 3,000 students in Alain Junior School alone. Right
so
now.
I can see a total change from the beginning. So as you have mentioned, some challenges regarding that some authorities has or was not established yet in the beginning, and also regarding the government buildings and constructing proper buildings for classroom.
Yes.
So there are, I know these are some challenges that you have overcome successfully.
Yes.
Of course, there were some people, we called it influential individuals or mentors, who were supported and were with you from the beginning to overcome such obstacles.
Yes.
Can you tell us or share or mention them?
One person who has been with us all along, supporting us in every decision we make, is our sponsor, our partner, Khamis Obaid Hamarain Al-Zahiri. He was my colleague when I was working in the water department in Khabisi. We were in the same section, and he graduated from USA, came back. He has helped us in getting the land allotted from Baladia, and construction, of course, we did all by ourselves. So he is one person I can relate who has helped us a lot. And we had people in Ministry of Education who were very understanding. Many people who were the heads of departments who knew how our school, compared to many other schools, is offering education with high quality and high standards in a very low and affordable fees. And what my wife Tanveer has created, that the education system, which is liked by all the parents. So the people in education department, later on it became ADEC, Abu Dhabi Education Authority. They helped us a lot in shifting to the new building, to giving approvals for going ahead up to grade 12. So we have two systems in one building. Indian system, KG to grade 12, affiliated to Indian CBSE system, and KG to A levels, grade 12, affiliated to Cambridge system.
تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد إلا دار زايد لا تقرب حماها لا تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها.
Yeah, let's talk about this more. I was about to ask that, starting from a small nursery till what we were right now, AG, a massive organization. It comprises many other organizations that working under its management. So let's talk about these organizations that you are managing under the AG group.
As I said, we went ahead year after year and established Al-Ain Junior School. Alhamdulillah, the due credit to so many people who contributed under the guidance of the principal, who was my wife. She was the founder principal, Ma'am Tanveer Arshad. She was so passionate that parents wanted to come to our school only because of the affordable fees and the high quality and the way the students were, growing in their confidence, and they were excelling in inter-school competitions, not just within Al-Ain, across UAE. So parents wanted their children to come to our school, and we had no space actually. So there were hundreds of students on waiting list. So we had to expand, and we have certain principles which are, I would say, because of which we have not expanded to the level what many other schools have expanded, like GEMS group. They have gone to hundreds of schools. We want to avoid loans, particularly interest-based loans. That's our fundamental belief. So because of that, we have gone slow and steady in expansion. So we got an opportunity to take over Zakhar Private School belonging to Ustaz Khalid Al-Shamsi. He had an Arabic system school. He gave half the building for us to operate British system school. So that was our addition in schools, Zakhar Private School, which we added in between. It had about 600 students. And during the course of this journey, there was a demand for nurseries in different areas of Al-Ain. So we added 2 more nurseries to existing Al-Ain Junior nurseries. One in Ghafa area called English Garden Nursery, and one nursery in the Falajaza area called House of Colors Nursery. And my daughter has also gone into education. She has 2 nurseries by name Head Start Nursery. All these nurseries are also added to our group.
Under your management of group. So Mr. Talking about the management system
Yes.
of managing multiple
Yes.
businesses under your group. I know that the managing business is different from sector to sector.
Yes.
Managing educational field is
Yes.
totally different.
Obviously.
Yes. So
Yes.
what are some methodologies or approaches that you are rely on managing such a multiple business like this?
Yes. I would like to mention that as we were growing from class to class, moving upwards, we were, to be honest, we were struggling without proper procedures because we had just started and the growth was very rapid at that time. Alhamdulillah, our biggest blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that my eldest son, Zahid Saroj, his name is, he was in USA, graduated in Houston, Texas, USA, and he was working in Halliburton as a computer professional. He didn't want to stay because we were struggling here with the schools. He resigned a lucrative job and came back to Align, and he took over initially as a manager, and now he is the CEO of our group. He joined about 15 years back, and being a technical IT professional, he helped us to bring this group on track, and in every area, in the finance department, in the administration, in technology, in IT sector, and in establishing this office called Focal Point Education Consultancy. I would say he has been a great help in formulating and establishing this center, which is a center which operates all the school. This is a corporate office, and we had education consultancy here. We had highly educated professionals who were offering schools improvements and teachers training right from here. Many schools benefited from our education consultants here. All this was the support of my son Zahid, and it's because of our passion and his support. You asked me how we managed to establish. It's again a teamwork, as I always say. We had some amazing people who have been working with us, and we appointed a finance manager who has been part of our group management team, which consists of myself, the managing director, my wife Tanveer, and Zahid is the CEO of the group, and Mr. Mitesh is a finance manager. So we form a team which oversees all our establishments. We have very close contact with the school's functioning. We have very frequent meetings, quarterly review meetings. We are connected on a daily basis with what's happening in the schools and in the nurseries. Mm-hmm. So now it's working like a well-established, like a well-oiled machine, as we say. So everything is well established. Alhamdulillah, we are now in a position to grow because we have people and the right procedures in place.
Everyone in his right
Inshallah,
place.
Yes.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Mr. I would like to ask you more and talk more about educational field in UAE.
Yes.
This dynamic, fast-growing field, especially in the UAE, and since you were here since long time ago, how have you seen educational field in United Arab Emirates and how it's developed during the years? How would you see this growing?
I would say that the vision of the rulers, mainly Allah Yaramu Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, his vision to give importance to education sector has been instrumental in the growth of education field in UAE. When we came, there were very few schools, hardly any colleges. There was only Align University was there, and in Dubai also very few universities were there. Now UAE boasts as one of the hub of education across the world. We have almost all major universities operating in UAE, mainly in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And coming to schools, the formation of the education governing authority, ADIC in Abu Dhabi, and in Dubai, it's what is it, this Dubai authority, which is overseeing the school sector, is something which has been a huge reason for the schools to come up. And their governance and their guidance in every area has made the schools perform up to highest standards in the world. I can easily say that we can boast to be having one of the highest standards in education in the world in UAE because of the support given by the government through the regulatory authorities of KHDA in Dubai and ADEC in Abu Dhabi and Ministry of Education across other Emirates. So I always say that the students in UAE are the luckiest students in the world, I would say, because what they are getting, the way of education they are getting through these schools which are guided by the authorities is something which no other country can provide those kind of standards.
Saying that this country, UAE, having a high standard of educational field, and the students that are studying here having the latest and updates of information.
Exactly.
So what are some future plans here in the AG that you are conducting in order to go along the future of education in UAE?
We believe that the way that science and technology has been growing in the world rapidly. For example, you have a mobile phone. What you have 6 months back becomes outdated, and everyone goes for a new, with new facilities. In every sector, the science technology is growing so rapidly. Artificial intelligence is coming up and changing the complete concept, the way we all function. In fact, I keep telling the teachers whom we appoint these days the students are smarter than the teachers, and it's so important for teachers to update themselves and upgrade themselves to be over and above the students' knowledge and students' caliber. So we have focused on trying to keep up with the pace of the technological growth in the world, and the students have to be taught by different means, not by the age-old methodology. So we have, alhamdulillah, students from nearly 50 nationalities working in our schools, alhamdulillah, and obviously teachers from nearly 25 to 30 nationalities, staff. So with this variety of cultures and students from such background, we had to equip ourselves and equip our teachers to come up to the highest trends in education in the worldwide.
Exactly.
So, and we have brought in technology thanks to my son Zahid, who himself is an IT professional. We have tried to, within our means, we are a low budget school. Within our means, we have brought in all kinds of technology within the classrooms.
So, Mr. Focusing more about the latest trends and technology, intellectual intelligence as well, we want to talk about in general, in educational field in general, not talking about the age group, how technology have facilitated and helped the education system. How would you see the latest trends of technology have helped the involvement of students and the engagement of students, especially inside the classroom?
Well, there has been a huge transformation in the method of teaching by teachers inside the classroom and also outside in the terms of competitions students are exposed to. Across all schools worldwide, more so in UAE, the students are given better opportunities in terms of different methodology using technology. Like, for example, the earlier methods used to be writing down on the blackboard and the teacher giving homework to students. These are good old methods. Now, teacher is teaching through smart boards and showing all kinds of apps which are educational aids available. There's a huge volume of educational aids available to teach children in the classroom through these means, and they can be exposed to lectures from experts in education too. So all this is helping the students to study in a different way. We have, as I mentioned, different departments. One of the important department is the IT department, which under the leadership of Zahid Rosh, who is the IT professional and the CEO. He is overseeing through the support of the IT department in offering all kinds of facilities, all kinds of educational apps or softwares and all that, yes, which can be utilized in classroom education.
So we would like and have a pleasure for sure to invite Zahir, one of the professionals.
I will really wish that you have a talk with him. He can throw more light on how education is moving forward using the new technologies.
Yes,
Inshallah.
We would like to.
That will be great, yes.
So, Mr. Talking about you and this faithful journey you have experienced in leading multiple business in educational field and professional expertise as well as a team. How would you define for us today the word success? I know that the word success is different, has a different definition from one another.
Sure.
So after this faithful trip or journey, how would you define success to us today?
Well, in our field, the success is measured through what the students achieve, and the more success the students achieve in various fields. We have always believed that the education is not confined to only classrooms. It's to do with developing a student's all-round personality and making them confident citizens to face the future world once they go to the higher education and into their professions. We have seen, Alhamdulillah, we are proud to say that our students have reached such heights of their careers, and they have been in one of the top universities, most of the top universities across the world in the USA. And so we feel so happy. And after that, they have been employed in big places. We come across our students in very high positions already, Alhamdulillah. This is the way we feel satisfied. Satisfaction looking at our students' achievements is the success for us. We have seen our students excelling up the world level, not just in level of Emarat, in so many competitions. Even in the final board exams, they have been toppers up to the world level. That's the achievement what we see. And in sports field, we give a lot of importance to sports. I have been a passionate sports person myself, having played many games, represented my state, and even today I still play at this age. And I have involved all my staff and students. We join together and play a lot of games. I welcome your team to join us sometimes. Because I believe I would like to show you one health and sports festival which we organized in our school in 2019, just before COVID. It was something I can easily say no other school would have done that. It was a combination of medical health sector, so many hospitals were involved. Our group of schools were involved. We had competitions in so many games, and then we had a huge festival. I'll show you later a clipping, 3 minutes. So what were we talking about? You were saying that how do we measure success?
Yes, exactly.
When we see our students excelling in the education, in their careers, are also excelling in different competitions, whether it's a debate, whether it's sports competitions, we feel extremely satisfied, and we feel that's a success we feel.
Mr. You have also mentioned about these competitions and activities that you are managing, and I know most of our audience from young generation might be interested in these competitions. So in today's episode, we would like to, from you, Mr. Arshad, to convey such a message to young and youthful generation who are watching us today.
My message to younger generation these days is they are too much involved into video games and these mobile apps and all kinds of things, which is a huge problem the whole world is facing. During our days, whenever we have free time, we used to go and play games outside, all kinds of games. This generation, whenever they have a free time, they will go into any of mobile phones or on their laptops and just play games, which is causing huge problems for their mental ability and also their physical. They are not into games, which causing them to lead a very sedentary life. So this is one of the biggest challenge the students are facing. I feel that they need to be brought out of their homes during their free time, during holidays, during vacation time, and the parents have to play a huge role in this. It's not just the school which can motivate them to come down, to get away from these gadgets. It's a responsibility, equal responsibility of parents who should have such an environment in their families, in their homes. When parents don't pay much attention to students at home, students are bound to go astray and hook on to these kind of gadgets, which are really killing the students. So I personally advise that there have to be means which schools are offering them in terms of engaging them into sports and games and competitions, but it's not enough. It has to be combined at home by the parents too. That's one message I feel it's most important for them to move away from
and to
their
focus
gadgets.
on as well.
At the same time, they should also look at the trends. The gadgets can be used in a better way also to see the advancement in technology. So they have to have a balance in the usage of these gadgets within limits. You can't do away with the gadgets. They have to use it within limits, and it's a duty of the parents to make sure the students don't hook on all the time with the gadgets and use them selectively. That's my message, one big message to them all. Thank you.
Yes. At the end, we would like to say that UAE has contributed a lot in your professional career and in building this empire in educational field in many aspects and in many fields positively. So what message you would like to convey to UAE and its leaders today?
First of all, we have no words to express our gratitude to the rulers of this country and to the authorities. First of all, for having allowed we expatriates to live in such peace and harmony in this country. That's number one. And this country, from the time Allahu Yarmu Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan had his vision and what his thought for the future of this country, which has been so well taken forward by the current rulers, the country has reached what I have seen when I came here 42 years back, what we were at that time and what we are now. We see a huge advancement in every area in the future growth of this country. So all that is to the vision of the great rulers who have brought this country to be number one, easily we can say, in every area, right from where they were about 30-40 years back to now. They can easily boast to be number one in every aspect, whether it's healthcare, whether it is education, whether it is business, whether it's in most other areas. this is all due to the vision of the rulers. And with this vision, we hope and pray that this country will move forward to much greater heights, and we all are motivated by the great vision of these rulers. No doubt about that. Yes.
Arshad Ahmad, the chairman of AG Management Consultancy, it was a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure too, and thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you. Best of luck to you.
All the best.
Dear audience, it's the end of our episode for today. Watch us next week. Goodbye. We are thrilled to have with us today Mr. Zahid Arshad, the CEO of AJ Group of Schools. How are you, Mr. Zahid?
I'm good, thank you.
We are excited to have you here today. So first, let's talk about Mr. Zahid, starting talking about your educational background as well as your professional experience and what are the roles that you have held.
Thank you very much for coming here. I have started in the US. I did my computer engineering almost 25 years ago. And I had some time working for the oil and gas industry with big companies in the world like Halliburton. So that experience was very, very helpful. You know, these are multinational companies, world-class companies. And after that, I moved to Oman from the US, where I was in Houston, in actually Texas. In Oman, I was a country manager for the whole country. And after that, I resigned and I joined our education industry in Al Ain because education is something that I am really passionate about, and I felt that we have a purpose, you know, so at least I'm trying to help people and we're able to achieve some goals for the future, alhamdulillah. So that's where I am. So I'm basically an IT computer engineer, but moved into education for the last 17 years.
So, Mr. Arshad, since you have this IT background, we would like to focus more on the technology and artificial intelligence and the integration of technology in educational system. How would you see the integration of technology and latest trends softwares in the educational system? How technology affects the outcome of education?
Wow, that's a very good question. Like in any other field, in any other industry, technology is at the foremost, you know, in education. And I think for those schools or for those educators who haven't used enough technology, they are really losing out and they are not giving enough to our students. Technology, especially nowadays when you have artificial intelligence, it plays a fantastic role. I think in terms of it can give independent learning to you know, students, very specific. It can find out where the need of the student is. For a teacher, it's very difficult for a big class. It's very difficult for her to manage so many students. But when you move it into artificial intelligence, the reports and the data, it can give you exactly what a student needs. It can also give very personalized assessments, examinations for a student. So it can realize whether a student is weak or is strong, and depending upon that, it can take the student on its journey. So artificial intelligence is very, very useful, and I think it's going to be very useful in the future for all of education. Apart from that, there are various other school management softwares. Everything's online now. Everything's online, right? So people are able to pay their fees. They're able to apply for documents. In the AJ group, we have been able to make everything online. So our parents don't even need to come to the school. They can do everything online. You know, they can apply for documents, they can apply for transport, they can do whatever they want. They can apply for the appointments, teachers, everything is online.
Exactly.
So, and I think in the future, that's where the world will go. And one of the biggest things in education is data. So many students, so many results, so many marks. The data is a lot. There's a lot of data. What do you do with that data? You have to analyze it, right? And then you can know whether your school is doing well or is doing weak. Where are you? So that data analysis is very helpful. Only software can help us with that. So I think technology is a fantastic way ahead.
Exactly. Also, Mr. do you see that technology can affect students? Let's talk about the students inside classrooms. What are some softwares that are using right now inside classroom to improve the involvement of the students and the engagement of the students between the students themselves and the student and the teacher at the same time?
Excellent. There are so many aspects. I can talk about so many things. One of the first things is that we have a very strong BYOD policy, which is bring your own device. So every student is asked to bring their own devices. So everybody is actually connected, right? And what do we use in the classrooms? Well, the teachers have various resources. We have recently, signed agreements with Alif, which is a UAE-wide, semi-government company. They provide a platform for Arabic learning. We have signed up with people like MathSpace, that is a math learning platform. We've also signed up with companies called Yardstick. They bring the science lab inside the classroom. Not every time every student can go to the classroom or go to the lab every time they want. So now they can do the lab experiments on their mobile devices, on the laptops, and they know exactly what the result is. So we have signed up with a lot of companies. In the classrooms, every classroom has a smart board, and all the teachers they use the smart boards very well. So yes, we are a very high-tech group of schools. Every classroom has, the teacher is expected to make sure that the technology is used. And our leaders also ensure they're walking around every time, making sure that the teacher is using the smart board and the students are really engaged in using that.
Yes, exactly. Also, everything we're talking about in the world have two sides. Now we talked about the massive changes, positive changes that technology can make to the educational field. Do you think that if we keep relying on technology, or in the future, in your opinion, do you think that technology can affect education in maybe negative way?
Well, see, as you rightly said, everything has its negative and its positives, right?
Sure.
But the positive is so overwhelmingly positive, negative becomes small, right? Yes, negatives will always be there. You will always have students who will use technology for the wrong things, right? You will always have situations when the data is gone or the backup is gone, but that does not happen every time. If you take a look, if you safeguard yourself, if you have very strong, robust policies in place, what happens when a student is accessing wrong data or the data which is not acceptable? What does the school do? Or even better, the school will block all of it. Yes, you can bring your technology, you can bring your phone, but when you try to access it in the school, it will not work, right? So the schools, I believe, have to have these kind of safeguards in place to make sure that data is not, or the technology is not used in the wrong manner, right? So as you said, negative will always be there, but if you focus on that, you will not achieve the positive. The positives are way too many for us to ignore. You have to go ahead with the positive. Negative, we will have to work on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you today, the CEO of AG Group of Schools, talking about technology and artificial intelligence in educational field. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.